Hey everyone out there in the land of YouTube, this is Annette Dion. I am the host and founder of the Psychic News Network, coming at you from the coast of Massachusetts, about 20 minutes away from Salem, Massachusetts. Guess what? It's Halloween. Well, it's Halloween Eve. It's October 30th, and as you can see, we're festive out over here. It's just me. It's a dark and stormy night. Once again, I am pulling out the Halloween deck because it's just time, and I've become slender. Anyhow, I hope you are having a festive weekend because, as I mentioned before, the moon is in Leo this weekend, and what much more fun could we be having? Except maybe if it was in Sag, but because I'm a Sag. But Sag is a very playful also. Leo's like the most playful sign in the zodiac. So I hope, if you know, like, there's still time to plan something. There's still time to have some fun. Because Halloween is tomorrow. So it's like a Halloween weekend. It's like Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. It's in the air. So I hope you're getting ready to have some fun. And if you're not, you can still plan something. I had a fun afternoon. I did readings for, a relative and my best friend, and that was great. And even read tea leaves, which was really fun. I used to do that in a past life. So, it's just a side note. Let's see what's going on. We have got, found out this morning that 45 has no executive rights to hide any documents that are, pertinent to his trying to destroy our country by sedition and treason and being a traitor and violently attacking his own country. No, he has no right to keep that information from the United States people and government. I don't know about you, but I count our blessings daily that we have a different president who's the polar opposite, and we have our democracy, just, I know it's not perfect, and I know we have a lot of things to be concerned about, but we do still have our democracy. So let's see if we can, over the next day or so, just see if we can count our blessings and be grateful. I always talk about the power of thought. I always talk about, praying and or intending, whatever you're into. But thinking about a peaceful situation in America can't hurt. It can only help. And if it doesn't do anything, it doesn't hurt. So let's all do that. I want to mention a couple things. One, I guess it's kind of endorsements, I would say. One is that there's an app, and it's called Curiosity Stream. And they have a series. It's like, I guess it's like Netflix, but it's just short films. They have a series that's a documentary of, I think it's called Keeping the Throne. Anyway, it's basically about world history, the monarchy in England and Queen Victoria and what happened in that royal family and how it all affected world politics. It's really interesting. Curiosity Stream, it's an app. Check it out. It's really amazing. And I'm bringing that up because of this. But before I bring that up, hang on. If you want to know where I got these fabulous slippers, they're fair trade. The company's Babushka. I don't know if I can find you the link, but anyway, I just needed some great slippers, and this company makes these beautiful wool slippers that are kind of like shoes too, that are awesome, and they're made in Nepal, I believe. So, Babushka, check it out online. I just wanted to mention that because it's it's going to a good cause, and they're great slippers. And it is the time of year for slippers. Back to the Curiosity Stream. I had said a while back, and you might remember this, because I think I said it here on YouTube, that 45 in his past life, I was very clear, because I read past lives, that he was Mussolini. You know, I kind of let it go, didn't think about it that much. You know, it just seems like he was Mussolini. And I didn't know anything about Mussolini. My world history was just not really very thorough at all. I don't remember too much world history in school. But I learned a lot from the film, on the documentaries on Curiosity Stream. They have actual film that they've colored and made, you know, interesting to look at. It's really amazing how far we've come in 100 years. Of Mussolini. And if you watch this, I think it's maybe the second film. The second one, because there's several in the series. I think there are 6. So there's footage of Mussolini, and I swear he has the same mannerisms. He has the same body language. He has the same way of holding himself as 45. It was fascinating. I tell you, I was like, well, I'll be damned. Maybe I was right about that. Anyway, okay. Let's take a look at the cards, shall we? So speaking of 45, so the information that the House Committee, the January 6th Committee, is requesting to be shown, 45 is doing his darndest to get those, these are public. These are, you know, we get to see these. He's trying to get them so that we can't see them, which is how much more of this admissions of guilt by not wanting us to see the evidence are we going to have to go through? If you're not guilty, you're going to this attitude. Have at it. You won't find anything. If you're guilty, you're going to be like, don't have at it. It's going to be bad for me. Okay, I mean, does it take a rocket scientist? I don't think so. Crazy, I tell you. Yes, the moon is in Leo. We're going to take a look in the Halloween cards at what's going to come on, what's going to happen with that. Oh, Halloween spirits, be with us. If you need a tarot card reader for your psychic party, let me know. Annette Dion 7@gmail.com. What's going to happen with these documents that he wants us to not see? Which we're going to see. We're going to see them. Well, we have the 10 of Ghosts. This has come up. Okay, so let me explain. Ghosts in this deck. If you've watched other psychics have this deck, I've had this deck for years. You'll know that ghosts are pentacles. No, sorry, got that wrong. Cups. And this card has come up regarding how much evidence they have. The cups have come up about how much evidence there is. And the pentacles, right? I think it's, yeah. Yeah, it's been cups and pentacles indicating how much, mostly pentacles. Which is interesting, because these are cups. The ghosts are cups. So this even looks like it's more, because cups hold things, right? There's more than they even had when it was turning up as pentacles. Evidence. I'm telling you, I've been saying it for a while. It's going to make your hair curl. And if your hair is curly, it's going to make your hair go straight. How much information there is. It's astounding. It's already astounding. It's going to get more and more astounding. It's going to be, I don't know, what's a bigger word than astounding? Stunning, shocking, unbelievable, all that. So much. I mean, it was like, it's almost like 45 had an addiction to committing crimes. It's almost like that. I mean, you know how some people are addicted to adventure? I know people like that. They'll take risks just because, you know, for the adrenaline rush, for the thrill of it, to see if they can get away with things. It's almost as if 45 was not only addicted to power and still is, but he was almost addicted, at least habituated, to committing crimes. And the Wheel of Fortune here in this Halloween deck is a turn of events based on these documents. Now, this is a funny card. I love these cards. The guy's expression on his face, which is hard to see for the glare, sorry. But anyway, he looks a little overwhelmed. The wheel is turning and he's not really sure where it's going to end up. That's 45. And he's spinning, 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 spinning. What's going to happen? Spinning. I see him tossing and turning at night. I see him not sleeping. I see him not... I mean, it was bad enough as it was, not being able to put two sentences together, but even more so. So those documents are going to be... It's going to be really hard to lie... for anyone to lie their way out of what's coming forth in those documents. And I have this sense that Joe Biden is not a gloater, so he's not gloating, because it's horrible that we have to even go through this, obviously. But Joe Biden is feeling a little bit better. He's feeling a little bit better that the documents are there and it's all there. There's more. There's more. I mean the Russia's involvement, you know, entertainment purposes only and all that. There is more. It's a mountain of crimes. Seriously, it really is. Next, let's look briefly. I don't know why, but I want to look at Mike Pence. I don't really do that very often. I'm not really sure why I want to look at Mike Pence. I know there was, just for a very short period of time, in the not too distant past, remember we were talking about Pence was going to throw his hat into the ring about running for president? Mike Pence, seriously. And then I did a reading on it, and the reading was like, really? Is he really going to do that? And what I got was that he'd get talked out of it. We haven't heard a peep about it since. I felt like it was his family going, no. Honey, you probably don't want to run for president, Mr. Pence. So for some reason, I want to see what Pence is up to. Just like the other day, all of a sudden, I wanted to talk about, I think it was Ted Cruz, and then Ted Cruz is in trouble on that note. But anyway, Mike Pence. What's going on with Mike Pence? What's going on in Mike Pence's head? I mean, because there's something wrong with that 45 was complicit. Well, to me this is obvious, right? It might be obvious to you too. To me, 45 was complicit in almost having Mike Pence executed. And by the way, speaking of that, if you do watch the documentaries on CuriosityStream, that app, the other thing about that is you get to see what happens and what's happened in our world history and societies, and how people do, you know, assassinate and take people out. It's part of what happens, right? Especially in a coup. So 45 was complicit in getting revenge to the point of attempted assassination, let's call it what it is, on Mike Pence. And then Mike Pence came back and he's like, no, we're good. You can't make this stuff up. Yeah, we're good, we're fine. What's going on in Mike Pence's head? There was something else that was really important to talk about. What was it? All right, focus. What was going on in Mike Pence's head is, okay, entertainment purposes only. What's going on in Pence's head? I actually didn't expect to get this. The devil. I don't think Pence knew how far it was going to go. But what I'm picking up on Halloween Eve, when the veils are very thin and it's really easy to be extremely accurate as a psychic. This is the Two of Swords. Talk about being, you know, like perplexed. it's almost like Pence just doesn't know what to think. And I think I'm actually picking up that Mike Pence has PTSD from January 6th. The devil card is hinting at that Pence was complicit but didn't think it would go this far as January 6th did. I mean, he got an inkling that 45 was angry at him for not, overturning the results of the free and fair election. I'm actually surprised to see this. The 5 of Imps, yeah. Pence is about to go through some stuff. That's what's going on here. There's the devil. It's a she-devil. They're so cute. Let me give credit where credit's due. This is, this deck, hang on, I gotta give credit because these cards are awesome, is by Kipling West, the Halloween Tarot. Been around for a while. The creator was really into Halloween, which I can relate to. It's the Witch's New Year, by the way. So if you're wanting to know more about that, you can Google it. But it's a good time to start anew. This is like, to some of us, it's like January 1st. And we're at a costume party. So the devil, this is a she-devil, which is deception, is fear. This is a card of challenges, the 5 of Wands. Pence doesn't know what to do. So that's where Mike Pence's head is at. We haven't looked into Mike Pence's head much lately, but that's where it is. All right, anybody need some Halloween costume ideas? How about be a scarecrow? Be a mummy if you need quick ideas. Those are easy. Be a vampire. That's really easy. Just be a ghost. Put a sheet over your head and cut some holes out. All right, I'm just saying that because there's no excuse for you to not celebrate. I do want to look, switching from politics, sort of, at how the Alec Baldwin situation is going to unfold. If you all watched the last video, I'm pretty sure it was the last one. I'm very unsettled about what happened there. I feel foul play. Entertainment purposes only. I just want to see if anything else has happened there. I think Alec Baldwin did give a public statement. I didn't really see it, but what's going on with that? Is there more? The High Priestess indicates that there's some things that weren't revealed on the set of that accidental shooting. The 9 of Imps, the 9 of Wands. Okay. Right? That's Wands. There's a lot of investigating that's going to happen for Alec Baldwin on the set of Rust. The 10 of Imps. Well, you know what? There's more to the story of what happened on that set with Alec Baldwin than there's, just speaking of piles of, information, like we were talking about with 45, piles of information about what went wrong there. I feel like, well, for one thing, there were documents, lots of documents about the safety, lots of complaints about lack of safety on the set, but the High Priestess is indicating there's a secret that hasn't been revealed about what actually went on. And is it going to be found out? I had to make my own pendulum because I keep losing mine. Still works. Are we going to find out the truth eventually? No, not necessarily a time frame of what happened. Oh, it's undecided at the present time. So this is about the Alec Baldwin accident on the set. Are we going to find out that there's more to the story than what we know so far? And I mean nefarious intent. Are we going to find out? It looks like yes. It looks like we're going to find out that it wasn't as random and accidental. Well, it was accidental, I think, but it wasn't as random as people might be, believing right now. Really horrible situation. Joe Biden. Joe Biden. What's Joe Biden doing? Let's go to Joe Biden next. He's in Europe. He's at the summit talking about climate change. Also, he's removing some tariffs on steel that 45 put in place. I don't know a lot about that, but let's just get a general read on how's it going for Biden in Scotland. He's in Glasgow now. I think he was in Rome today. He's probably in Glasgow now. I don't know. I haven't followed his schedule. Anyhow, he did have a meeting with the Pope. My sense is that he spoke at length with the Pope about the dark forces that have taken over the United States. And I have a sense that the Pope really does understand what's going on. And on this Halloween Eve, I just want to mention that, like my scarf, on Halloween Eve, that the Pope knows about the dark side. And that evil has been a force that we've been fighting throughout history, throughout human civilization, from the beginning of time. And yeah, we are under attack from the demonic side. And I feel like they talked about it. Let's just ask about that. Let's just go get into how the meeting with the Pope, you know, like, what did they talk about? Let's see. Biden and the Pope with the Halloween cards. Well, 10 of Pumpkins. They talked about money a lot. They talked about money and greed a lot and the problems with that. Oh my goodness, this is interesting. Okay, so what did Biden and the Pope talk about? Well, this is like about money. These are pentacles. This is about, this actually is about taxing corporations. Yes, they talked about business. They talked about economies. Biden and the Pope, because you know what, Pope Francis, he's a really big advocate for helping the poor. Well, the Pope is supposed to be. And I know that it's controversial because people are like, well, the Vatican should give up their property and give up the gold chairs and, you know, all that. But anyway, that could have happened years ago and it just didn't. It's kind of like it's as old as the patriarchy. The Vatican having all this money. Anyway, the discussion wasn't about the Vatican having too much money. Pope Francis really does help the poor. There's a movie about him. If you see the good work that man has done and where he has gone, the Pope, to help the poor and to raise awareness of the poor, you'll think good of him as a man. Anyway, and guess what? The Night of Pumpkins, they talked about 45. From a religious perspective, from a spiritual perspective, like what's been happening here spiritually. It's not about, oh, he should burn in hell. It's not about that. The Pope and Biden talked about the spiritual implications of what's happening in the United States and from the perspective of the demonic. What do we do about the demonic? And I just want to say, pray. All right? I know you guys that are watching understand my language that I'm talking about, or you wouldn't be here. And if you're a troll, God bless you. If you're a 45 supporter, I hope God blesses you with truth. Just kidding. All right. For some reason, I want to look at Zuckerberg. I don't know. I'm just going with what pops into my head. I did jot down a few things, so. Yeah. How about that reading I did about Merrick Garland? I'm very curious about what I saw in the last video. Let's look at Zuckerberg and what's going on with Zuckerberg. The guys just said Zuckerberg, there's This is like the night of there's going to be more information. There's going to be the deluge of information. There's going to be more information. I mean, mountains and mountains and mountains of evidence of criminal activity that cannot be denied. Zuckerberg, how's Zuckerberg doing with his virtual world? Apparently, if you go to a concert, or if your friend goes to a concert, you can have a holographic image of yourself with that person at the concert. It's very weird. I don't like it. Yeah, I just don't, and I don't like the idea of self-driving cars either. Separate topic, but I like driving. All right, Zuckerberg, what's going on with Zucky? I do not like his energy. He seems inhuman. Zuckerberg feels inhuman to me. And this meta thing, I don't think it's gonna fly. Because people don't really like when corporations do that. There's been a lot of that. Like I've, heard on the news mentioned, and I had kind of forgotten about this. The Value Jet crash in I think it was 1996, and the Florida Everglades, and all the people on board perished. And then they changed the name to Airbus or something like that. So, we got your number on the changing your name thing to make it seem like you're not that bad. If it looks like a duck, and it walks like a duck, and it quacks like a duck, it's a duck. Zuck. It's a duck, Zuck. Zuckerberg. Okay, so I see the Four of Swords is coming up. No, this is the Four of Wands. I get them mixed up. It's bats that are swords. It takes a while to acclimate yourself to the Halloween deck. All right. So this is about, all right, there are a few cards here that are indicating justice will happen. I feel like people are as we speak, are in the process of taking Zuckerberg down completely. The Two of Ghosts is people in agreement. The Sun is finally already, this needed to happen. Zuckerberg wouldn't have changed the name so quickly if he wasn't in dire straits with Facebook. And the Four of Imps, this is people really happy that justice is coming for Zuckerberg, because it is. And I don't think it's just as simple as Zuckerberg having to step down as CEO or paying fines. Am I right? Yes, it's not that simple. I think he's going to jail. I hope they have enough room in the jail cells, because there's a whole lot of people going to jail. I think Zuckerberg is going to be made an example. I think, is it just too good to be true? Are they going to make an example of Zuckerberg? Yeah. Like my makeshift pendulum. It works. Hey, when you keep losing things, just find substitutes. I really don't know what's up with that. In the movie The Sixth Sense, which is actually, I don't watch scary movies. I did watch The Sixth Sense many years ago. I have seen some scary movies. I don't gravitate towards them, but The Sixth Sense is absolutely the most terrifying movie I've ever watched. Anyway, the reason that I'm bringing that up is that line when the kid says, "Mom, sometimes things don't get lost. Sometimes they get moved." I'm trying to spook you. Oh, let's see what else. Well, I do want to look at, just real quick, the election in Virginia. Interesting slip that I said Georgia. Because that's what Stacey Abrams is and all that with voting rights. What's going on in Virginia? I did look the other day. I do see McAuliffe winning. I do see a lot of blah, 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 a lot of yakking away. Oh, by the way, I just thought of the other thing I was going to ask about. I'll get to it. Is the Democrat going to win? Is McAuliffe going to win? I got yes the other day. I just want to see if any of the dynamics have changed. Not that the prediction will change, because I stand by that McAuliffe will win. But has anything shifted around that? The fool. Yeah, the other guy is a fool. Well, we know that. Look how colorful that is. Youngkin. What a weird name. Youngkin. Youngkin is looking like a fool. People are more into the people being helped. This is a lover card. And the Queen of Ghosts. You know, I have been mentioning that I see female judges really taking charge of this country. The Queen of Ghosts indicates there's a female who's going to have some influence in what happens in that race in Virginia to tilt things in the way of ethics. That might be about the schools. That might be about the schools. There might be some kind of a legal standing for what Youngkin is talking about with the schools, like that they can't. There's something unconstitutional about that they can't. Youngkin doesn't want the schools to teach about, well, to allow the children to read novels by Toni Morrison, a black author, and also I don't know if this is part of his campaign, Youngkin, the whole critical race theory thing, which is it's not even being taught. I don't even know why that's a topic of discussion, but can we just say the Republicans have run out of things to talk about, so they make stuff up. Which brings me to the next thing. Tucker freaking Carlson. How dare he? And how dare Fox News promote propaganda to the degree that they are to gullible people and claim that January 6th was people posing as 45 supporters. How dare he? Has he no decency? Well, we know Tucker Carlson has zero decency. Tuckums, that's what Joy Reid calls him, Tuckums. It's very, very, very horrible what he's doing. Anyway, if you haven't heard, Tucker Carlson has made a documentary that skews the whole what happened on January 6th to say that actually it was like Black Lives Matter and it was the Democrats posing as 45 supporters and total BS lies. The question I want to ask is it going to be allowed to be aired? So Roger Ailes, is it going to be allowed to be aired? You know, months ago, I saw Fox News being sued. This is the night that I'm seeing how many lawsuits. It's like, we really don't have enough of a judicial system to handle all the crimes. But the guys just said it'll be growing. Anybody want to be a judge? Anybody want to go to law school? What's going to happen with that documentary? The Ace of Swords is truth will prevail. Wait, all right, Nine of Bats. Yeah, this is they're going to be in trouble. It's a Nine of Swords. They're going to be in trouble. The Five of Bats. They're going to be in trouble. They're going to be stuck. Now, I'm going to ask the Pendulum if they're actually going to be allowed to air that propaganda. Hellish propaganda, the worst kind ever. The Ace of Imps. Right, the Imps are the ones. All right. Well, I see Tucker and Roger Ailes trying to, I think it's Roger Ailes, trying to make it like it's real. Well, obviously that's what they're trying to do, but look at, he's kind of like being held by the tail and juggling leaves. Like it's gonna be tough. I see it airing, the Tucker thing. I see that. What will we call it? It's a documentary. It's a fake documentary, so we'll call it a fake-umentary. I could call it something more crass, but I won't. I see it, maybe they'll show it one time and be shut down, or I just see it not aired very much at all. I just want to look at that a little bit more. The Tower card. You know, sometimes you just push too far. You know, you poke the bear a little too much, and then it's like, you better not keep poking me. Or maybe on Halloween it was poking Frankenstein. Hey, hey. And then he wakes up. The Tower card. This is about Tucker and this mockumentary. Wow, interesting. It looks like it's going to feed more fuel to the fire of getting Tucker fired. That's what it feels like. Because there's a lot of lawsuits against him too. I cannot believe how many lawsuits I'm seeing tonight. It's just, it's like an infinite number of lawsuits against so many people right now. So many. No wonder Merrick Garland is so overwhelmed by everything. Okay, one more thing and I'll let you go. What do we want to ask about? I gotta check my comments to see if anybody asked further questions. Once again, I forgot what one of the questions was. Next time. By the way, before we ask the next question, I want to remind you that tomorrow is Sunday, and it's Halloween, and it's Sunday, and every Sunday I have Church of Spirituality. So I hope that after I tape it and put it up, you can watch. It'll be fun. The theme this month has been walking in spirit. You know, just like the invisible, walking with the invisible world, the all one, beautiful divine world. Okay, so oh well, I was just kind of thinking about in general, like to wrap up this reading, what do I want to tell everyone? Well, the Tower card is coming up again. Everything is being shaken to its core. This is a general, like, what's coming up. Everything is being shaken to its core. I'm talking about in our country. The Eight of Bats is, there's a whole lot of people that are feeling very trapped right now. Keep the positive energy going. We want justice to be served. And the Wheel of Fortune is a change of things. Things are going to start moving in a different direction. And it is positive. It is positive. We have reason to believe. When I mentioned those documentaries on Curiosity Stream, the reason that those were helpful to me was it's really helpful to actually see footage of what people went through in this world in World War I, which was the time of the Spanish flu pandemic too. World War I, the pandemic of 1918. They went through World War II. In World War II, England was being bombed by Hitler's army, by Nazi Germany, for 57 days straight. So I'm just saying this to you because we made it through that. Bad things have happened. Governments get overthrown all the time. It almost happened to us. We're in a scary place, but we're going to really work hard on focusing on what we want to happen, and it's going to happen. And I swear to you, if we had reason to worry, which we should never worry, we should pray instead, think positive thoughts, whatever you're into. Just know that we're not alone, ever. And honor your elders and your ancestors, your loved ones who have crossed over the next few days, because they're very close to us, all right? Because they didn't just disappear. I mean, you can't visually see them, but their energy is definitely with you. I know this as factual information. Happy Samhain, happy Halloween, happy Witches' New Year. Have a beautiful weekend, and I hope to see you at Church of Spirituality. I wish I could do it live, but not until I get 1,000 subscribers. So if you can help me, then please share and subscribe and hit the bell and all that good stuff that I'm really bad at reminding you to do. It's Annette Dion 7@gmail.com if you'd like to book a reading or a Halloween party. All right, namaste, be well. Thanks.